Hello everybody, welcome into Watch Me Wednesday. I am back from a couple weeks reprieve and I am here to show you how to use a ruler that came into in the Quilty box. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. The October Quilty box. So if you received the October Quilty box, you received this ruler that came in that is by me meant to go with the quilt that I designed in the box. So, and actually I need to put above me too, if you did not get the box, there is still some available. You can get them. You just need to email Quiltybox at support@quiltybox.com to request a box. I did an unboxing earlier today, and you can watch that video on my Canton Village Quiltworks Facebook page, or I also posted it up to YouTube as well, so you can watch the unboxing and see what's actually contained in the box besides the fabric for the quilt. So I want to do this little demo because I've had a few people who've gotten the Quilty box ask me about the ruler. It's really quite simple and straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. Hit the share button so that your friends can take a peek as well, and so they can see how to use the ruler and the instructions. So within the Quilty box, you get this little magazine, and it has the instructions. It actually tells you what's in the box there. And then there's also a second box if you want to get it as well. There's an English paper piecing box that you can also purchase. So if it's something you're interested in, then they did a little interview with me. So if you want to read a little bit about me and my background, etc., you can. And then after that, you get the instructions for the quilt. And there's the quilt, and I have it on the chair behind me. I'll show you in a little bit. The quilt is 38 inches by 38, so it's really super small, easy. It's a great little wall hanging, easy to make in a weekend. But what I want to focus on is the instructions and how to use the ruler. I'm going to show you how to do the quarter square triangles because mainly the entire quilt is made up of quarter square triangles. So I want to go over that. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see the cutting mat in front of me. So hold on tight. You're going for a ride. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Down, down, down. And I'm going to turn you down so you can see my mat. Okay. I think that is about right. Okay, so the little ruler that you receive in there is 4.5 inches square, which is the size of the completed block or the finished block. And on it you'll see markings. So there is a white marking going on the diagonal of 45-degree angle there, and the on the diagonal of the square, and another one there as well going across that diagonal. And then there's a white line that indicates the seam allowance around the edge of the block. The ruler is 4.5 inches square, and I know you're getting some reflection there, so I'm trying really hard to put it so you don't get a reflection. Anyway, what you're going to start off with, and in the instructions, it does tell you what size squares you need to cut and how to make the quarter square triangle. So you're going to start off with 2 pieces of fabric, 2 squares, okay, and it tells you in the instructions the sizes, so I'm not going to go over that. The point of the demo here is to show you how to use the ruler. When you sandwich these 2 pieces of fabrics together, you're going to do it right sides together, and you're going to have a diagonal drawn down one of the squares. I did it on the lighter square so I could see it. Then you're going to, oops, where's my other block? Here it is. Then you're going to sew down either side of that at 1/4 inch, sewing down either side, okay? 1/4 inch away from that line that you just drew. Once you've done that, you're going to have 2 pieces, and you're going to cut, well, you're going to have 1 piece, but you're going to cut it apart on that line, okay? Once you've cut it apart, you're going to press. This is standard stuff. You're going to press it, and I press towards my dark, okay? So you're going to press that towards the dark. Once that's done, and I had these in the wrong order here. Once that's done, you've pressed and you have this unit. So you've got a half square triangle unit. Then you need another plain square, and you're going to sandwich those again right sides together, and you're going to draw a diagonal line this time on your half square triangle. Okay. Now this square that you're putting it right sides together with is going to be, as you can see, a little bit larger than the half square triangle. That's okay. If you want a pin on either side, not a problem, you can do that. But center it basically on that square. Then you're going to do the same thing again, and you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from that drawn line on either side. Once you've done that, again, you're going to have 2 pieces, or 1 piece. I keep saying 2 pieces. I'm sorry. You're going to have 1 piece. You're going to cut on that diagonal line, cut them apart. So now you have 2 pieces. Okay. Once you have those cut apart, you end up with a 1/4 square triangle. Now, you need to press this towards your background fabric here because you've got a seam here, so I like to press it away from the bulk so the back will look like this. So you can see that it's pressing towards that background fabric. It just helps it lay flat. This is where the ruler comes in, okay? Because we want to trim this down to 4.5 inches. So those lines that I was showing you, these white lines here, they cross right at that intersection there. That intersection is where you need to lay that ruler down. So you need to lay that white line that's going this way right on your seam allowance, and the white line that's going this way on the seam allowance here on your half square triangle part. Then all you're going to do is, once that's aligned and those lines are crossing where those seams meet up, you're going to go ahead and you're going to trim one side and then trim the other side. Now if you have a spinning mat, which I do right here, this is a spinning mat, you can just spin it around so you don't even have to move it, and then trim the other 2 sides. And that, my friends, is how you get your 1/4 square triangle. Now, in the quilt, you will have some 1/4 square triangles with different backgrounds because the different units or the different stars have different backgrounds. So you will have those. Now, here's the one thing that you're going to want to note. Now, you end up with a 1/4 square triangle this way, but let me press this one open. I'm going to finger press this one for you. You're going to end up with a right and a left. Okay, so this one's finger pressed, but you can see right away the orange is in a different position. Okay, so you're going to need to pay careful attention to that. You're going to lay that ruler back down on here. Doing the same exact thing, aligning that white mark with your seam allowances right inside that seam, trimming down. And then just turn this around. And you'll see how these are 2 different units. Okay? Now that's something you need to pay attention to, because in the pattern, depending on how you get laid out, the border is laid out as such. Let me show you. Maybe you can see better with these because there's a color background here. But all the inside units are one side. So let me show you here. Here's your border units, on the quilt, and you can see how you've got a background here, and you've got your half square triangle, and see how they meet up here. But in your stars, it's all one side. This is your background, and then here's your half square triangle, but it's all the same side. Okay, so that's super important to make note of, and it says in the instructions which ones you discard. And actually, you can make it, in all honesty, you can make a reverse quilt if you wanted to, so keep those quarter square triangles around. You'll see in the pattern it has an X through the ones that you're not going to use and the ones that you will be using. So that's super important to note. Save those other quarter square triangles and you can make another quilt out of them. Whether or not, I haven't tested, to be honest with you, whether or not you can get another whole quilt, a whole starburst. That's the name of my quilt, starburst. Whether you can get a whole starburst out of this in the reverse or not. So if somebody tries it, let me know. But that's how you use this little ruler. Super simple square up ruler. I'm going to bring you back up because I have a little surprise for you too. Okay, let me get you there. Get you up pretty high there. There you go. You're all welcome, Patty. You're welcome. Now, I have a little surprise for you. I was super excited about this. Let me just make sure I'm super excited about this because I know that many of you seen my my Mandala Magic fabric line is now in my shop, and I'll put the link above my head again. And I'll also put that email for Quilty Box if you want the Quilty Box as well. I don't have any of the white background on my site. I'm out of stock, but it is Island Boutique Almond. So if you do a Google search, you will be able to find it. That I don't have. I ran out. So, but I know you all just got notice about my Mandala Magic fabric being on my site, and I've had lots of orders placed, which is fabulous. And if you want extra fabric for the Quilty Box quilt for Starburst, the backing, etc., you can go ahead and purchase that on my site. I'll put the link above me if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, it's below me. But guess what? So you not only have a sneak peek, but you also get to see my other newest line. The yardage will be in my shops, or in my shop, I should say, and in other shops beginning in January. But what came first are the pre-cuts. So I have the pre-cuts available, and here's the first time you're going to see it, is my Blinded by Science fabric line. So they're all the jewel tones, and this was inspired by, when I designed this fabric line, it was inspired by my husband, my daughter, and my son, because they're pretty smart and they're pretty scientific. So there are things in here like water molecules, equations, solar system, the designs, but the colors are simply luscious. They're jewel tones, so if you really like that, I've got the pre-cuts in. They are limited quantities. I've got the strip packs, and I have the yummy stack packs too, the 10-inch squares as well. So these are on the site. You can find them, and the link will be above my head as well, or below if you're on YouTube. So that is my tutorial and my little surprise for today. I hope you all join me next week. I'm going to get back to some sewing. I have lots to do and lots of deadlines. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.